And this is how the game goes. You go back and forth from surviving by keeping your food and water up and fighting off zombies to trying to get on your feet crafting-wise and building-wise. Okay, so once you've defeated the zombies that are in immediate danger, you go back to what you're doing. Oh, well, okay, you got that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, as you can see here, well, that's not good.
I died.
I saw that. Okay, so, yeah, as you can see...
I'm stunned.
No, you're dead. It said you died. There we go. As you can see, fighting zombies in the beginning with no armor is very dangerous. So be aware, it's actually a little better to avoid fights if you can. But we're really trying to defend this little piece of ground here because it's in an ideal spot. And I'll get into that in a minute. Back to the crossbow! Okay, so what we needed for the crossbow was we needed sticks and plant fibers. And as I said, we have the resources necessary to make those things. So we're going to... I don't necessarily want to process... Well, yeah, I do. Okay. Wood logs, like I said earlier, we'll process then into wood planks. And I'm going to go ahead and process all of these. And it'll take a minute. I have the timers for crafting and looting both set on fast. Just because that's kind of like the way we like to play. We like it to take a little bit. We don't like it to be instant, so there's that little bit of a challenge, but we also don't want to spend the whole time dealing with waiting on timers. Okay, so I've processed my wood plank or my wood logs into wood planks, and like I said, this is big material for your building your structures, but I'll get into that a little bit later. For the crossbow, we're going to need sticks. Now, wood planks process into sticks at a ratio of 1 wood plank to 3 sticks. So I need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and go with 9 sticks from 3 wood planks. And I'll have a stick left over, that's okay. Sticks are handy, you use them for all the tools. So then you just follow the pattern. Oh wait, whoops. I'm forgetting a step. Okay, we have the sticks, but the other ingredient we need is plant fibers. And like I showed you guys for the stone axe, you get plant fibers, and I'm just going to go ahead and process all of these, because that's the only thing grass is good for, is plant fibers. And that's where you get them from. So, sometimes life is about waiting. And the nice thing is, while you're crafting, you can actually exit out of your inventory and do other things, and it will continue to craft while you're out and about working on stuff. So while it's crafting, you can go ahead and look around for more small stones, because they're handy. You can break more big rocks. You can collect more goldenrod. Just, you know, kind of try to stay productive, especially because there's a limited amount of time for your safety as well. The key factor in that being... as you've seen, the zombies are dangerous enough during the day when you're on your first tier of equipment. At night, they run. So that all but eliminates your ability to evade them. During the day, you know, you can hit them, back up out of the range of their attack, hit them, you know, move in and out, have a lot more of an advantage in close quarters combat. Or just in combat period. But at night, that advantage is eliminated. So during your first day, you really have to manage your time between gathering resources and getting a structure built. And as long as you don't have the zombies set on feral mode, if you've got a structure to hide in and you don't do anything to attract their attention, 9 times out of 10, you can just hide, last through the night without any problems, and then come out during the day and continue working on what you need to work on in order to, or while having the advantage of the daylight slowing them down again. Okay, so I've gathered all that. My grass should have processed. You getting chased?
I think so. And a hornet
like
after me.
Yeah, it sounds like he's still... Yep, he's getting closer. Okay, let's take him on.
I have almost 0 health.
Oh, did you get attacked again?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I respawned, I only had, like, what I had when I died.
Oh, really? It's supposed to give you, like...
something.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, he's kind of coming in, but he's doing his little...
Bob and weave.
Bob and weave, yeah, here he comes. Ah! Whoa! That was close. You little bunghole. Come here. Ah! Alright. See if you can keep his attention if he comes toward me. Oh, no, he's gonna... He's determined. Come on. Come on! Come on, Spanky. Let's dance. There we go. Okay. Now, plant fibers are processed. So finally we can make our first ranged weapon, which will give us a leg up even more, especially when it comes to those hornets. So, follow the pattern, like before. And the way I'm dropping one item at a time out of a stack is when you left-click, you pick up a stack. If you right-click with the stack on your hand, it'll drop one of those items at a time out of your stack. Onto the grid or in your inventory, however you want to do it. So same thing here, left click to pick up the whole stack, right click to drop one at a time. And now that we have all the ingredients on the crafting grid, you can see the result now is a crossbow. So we gonna craft that baby. Have you looted any feathers, hon? Okay, so she's looted quite a bit of feathers. Okay, so now we have a crossbow, but I'm gonna show you guys, just because we have a ranged weapon doesn't mean we can do anything with it. Click, click, click. So,
I just dropped like half of what I had.
Okay, so she dropped the feathers. And another thing too, guys, is you don't have to, in order to pick things up, you don't have to aim at it and hold E. Like with these guys you have to, just because they're planted in the ground. But if something's just dropped on the ground, you can just hold down the E button, and if it's within a certain radius, it will come straight to you and automatically pick up. So it can be annoying in certain situations, but a lot of the time it's very handy. Okay, so like I was saying, we have no ammo for the crossbow, so it does us no good until we have some ammo. So we have crossbow, and ammo and weapons are in the same category, so we need a crossbow bolt. Now, these guys are crafted by sticks, which we only have one, so I'm going to need more than that, sharp stones, and feathers. So I've got your amount of crossbow ammunition is really going to be determined by the amount of feathers you have. Because we have small rocks, or small stones I should say, and sticks are fairly abundant, but feathers and are easily gathered. But feathers can only be found in either trash piles or loot containers of various kinds, and birds' nests. Those are the only two places you can get them, so keep that in mind. And I'll try to show you what a bird's nest looks like in a minute. But since I have 28 feathers, I want to get a close equivalent to that with the amount of sticks I get here. There's 27. Okay, so I'm going to get my sticks processing and pick up what she dropped. Oh! Wow, you found a POI. Okay. So I was going to show you guys how to craft this.
I just crafted them.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Well, then I will show them the recipe for that in a minute. So she just crafted 2 sleeping bags. These things are good for, like I said earlier, a bed is your spawn point. So when you die without a bed, you spawn in a random location. But once you place a bed down, that will be where you spawn whenever you die. And you can choose to either spawn on it or near it, and if you spawn near it, it kind of puts you within a certain, like, sort of a random location within a close radius. But if you spawn on it, then you'll spawn, you know, basically right on top of it. So she's gonna find a spot to drop it. I'm gonna finish. Okay, so I processed my sticks. I've got the same amount as feathers. Now, oh look at that! I've got just enough small stones to make the sharpened stones for the arrowheads. So I'm gonna process those real quick, and I guess while those are processing, I'll go ahead and come up here and drop my sleeping bag next to hers.
You get away from me.
Oh, whatever. Been married for 8 years.
I
And
know.
act like, yeah, I know, right?
Hence the get away from me part.
Uh-huh. See how you are. Okay. So, you know, we can sleep under the stars and, you know, possibly get eaten, and not in a fun way. Anyways, okay, so... Don't scold me. There's no rating on this video. Anyways, okay, got our sharp stones and our feathers and our sticks, so now we're ready to craft the crossbow bolt. So again, And that's another thing too. This won't highlight until you have the items in your inventory. And another note on your inventory, just so you guys understand how this works. This is considered your backpack. This is considered your tool belt. So in this menu settings, when you're trying to decide what drops when you die, that's how it determines it. You can say it drops only your tool belt when you die, or it drops only your backpack, or both of it. There's even another option to make it completely destroyed so that you absolutely lose everything and you don't even have the option to go back and get it. But anyways, that's how your inventory is laid out. Back to the crossbow bolt. Now that I have all the ingredients in my inventory, it's now lit up. I can select it in the recipe list, and there's the pattern on the grid again. So let me show you the next thing you can do. I'm going to drop one of each on here for demonstrative purposes. So I'm crafting one crossbow bolt. Once I craft it, now you'll see that since it's crafted, the color has changed again to a nice like foresty green. Once that is the case, you can then click it, and it will automatically draw the items from your inventory onto the grid in that pattern. And every time you click, it adds another one. Or, the nice thing for mass producing is if you hold your shift key and then left click the name, it will draw every item that is in your inventory for the recipe onto the grid based on the lowest number. So say I had, like, say 25 feathers, and then 27 of the others. It would only draw 25 sticks and sharp stones up here, so that it would be, give you a maximum of 25 crossbow bolts, and it would leave the other 2 stones, and... the crap was that?
So sorry. I didn't know that was going to make that noise. It was that land claim block.
Oh,
I was
jeez.
just getting it out of my inventory.
Good grief.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not familiar with that noise because we don't use them very often. Because we usually we play on a private server and they're pretty much just loot junk for us. But when you play on a public server, it's a useful item. But since we don't play on public servers that often, we don't have to deal with them. So, anyways, okay. So now I've got my 28 crossbow bolts crafted. I'm going to go ahead and keep them on my tool belt because I don't want to lose them if I die. Let me rearrange my tool belt here a little bit. I guess I can go ahead and place my land claim block. And while I'm at it, a note on land claim blocks. I wonder if it'll even let me place it here since... Where did you place yours? Like up here on the hill or something?
Yeah, way up.
I'm going to drop mine like right here. I love the drum. It's like declaring war. Da-da-da! Anyways. Okay, the land claim blocks when you're on a public server are handy because they make your blocks virtually indestructible to other players. It doesn't have any effect when it comes to zombies, but when it comes to other players, it's really handy. I'll pick up this goldenrod that's right here. Okay, back to the crossbow. So now that I have ammo, you can see on my ammo counter in the lower right, there's 28, a maximum, or my overall amount is 28, but it says 0, and what that is signifying is the amount in the chamber or clip. So for the crossbow, in order to load it, you hit the R key, which is the reload key, and it'll load your crossbow, and now you see I've got 1 in the chamber and 27 in reserve. So now, we've got a handy ranged weapon, which will keep us a little bit safer because it'll help us to stay at a distance. Let me see if I can find a zombie here so I can show you how this thing works. I hear one. Where are you, buddy? Where are you, buddy boy? I just, you know, just want to make friends. I just... What?
They go this way. Into
the wasteland?
You'll probably find them faster.
That's probably true. I guess we'll go into the wasteland. I can show you guys the wasteland too. Now, like I said, the forest is where you really want to start, but ideally, most ideally, you want to find a forest on the edge of a wasteland. And a wasteland is very easily recognizable. You got all of this junk everywhere here. The ground is this destroyed stone. You got busted brick structures everywhere. But the reason you want to be on the edge of a wasteland is because, for one, you've got these little nifty structures here that have coolers that you can loot, and file cabinets. It's got a little bit of looting. And beyond that, the biggest draw, or the biggest reason, is these guys right here, these iron beams. These give you what they call scrap metal blocks, which are kind of like scrap metal piles. But when you process them, they give you a ton of scrap metal, which is your core item that you process into iron ingots to make your iron tools. So we'll get into that again in a minute. And I need to actually get on making those iron tools. But I want to show you a crossbow kill real quick. Keep hearing zombies, but they're just like... It's, you know, typical zombies. They're nowhere nearby when you really want to deal with them, and yet... when you don't want to mess... Okay, here we go. This will be sweet, because she doesn't even know I'm here. Okay, with zombies, it's like in the old movies. Headshot, and down they go. So let me show you something there. So you see I have like a regular crossbow when I'm not zoomed in. Or not crossbow, regular crosshairs, or a reticle, if you will. That's shooting from the hip, and it's less accurate. Especially as you see I move, they separate farther. That means the more you're moving, the less accurate you are. However, when you right-click, you will aim down the sights, and you'll see my reticle, regular reticle disappears, but I now have a red dot. That red dot is where your shot will hit. And a note on the crossbow is you kind of, at a distance, you kind of have to lead your target. So, if you, oops, that was a tad too early. Okay, here he goes. And he's just gonna walk straight at me now. But so now you see you got this red dot. You just aim at his head, and down he goes. Where's that nurse though? Nurses you really want to loot, especially early on, because they have something that's really... Nope, she's gone. Didn't have anything on her. They have an item called a beaker, which is essential for higher tiered healing and painkillers. I'll tell you about those in a second as soon as they take her out. Down she goes. Infected woman, stay away from her. Ooh, short iron pipe, good. I need that for one of the next crafting items. Okay, so now that I've shown you guys about getting your basic weapons together, I'm going to show you some of your other essentials here. I'm going to get back up here by our... Oh, cotton, I need to pick that. Back up here by our sleeping bags. And that's another note too. On the compass, you look down right above my tool belt again. You see that little home, looks like a little house? That is, once you place a bed or a sleeping bag, that creates that waypoint on your compass. So anytime you're out and about and you know you're ready to go home, just point towards home. It'll lead you straight to where your bed is. So, let's see. Got the ranged weapon. Okay, so next thing I want to show you guys, I'll show you how to craft the sleeping bag. And that's under actually building. Oh wait, I need to do cloth fragments first. Okay, so for a sleeping bag, let's see if I can find it in the list here. Sleeping bags. Okay, sleeping bag. You'll see I need these little guys. Those are cloth fragments. In order to get those, and I'll show you another thing here. If you just for like a cheat sheet, if you will. This is the resources crafting section, and here you'll see plant fibers. Then we've got blades of grass, and I collected another one of those, so I guess I'll just go ahead and process that. This tells you how to get each of these items, and again, you'll know what you can craft by what's lit up. For instance, these are kind of grayed out. That means you don't have what's necessary to make them. These are like a grayed out version of the forest green, which means you've made them before, but you don't have the item necessary to do it. These are like a grayed out version of the... What is that color? I'm colorblind. Is that kind of a yellow? The stuff you haven't crafted yet. Okay, so if it's yellow, that means you haven't crafted it yet. If it's kind of grayed out, that means you haven't crafted it yet and you don't have the resource for it. Since these are lit up yellow, that means we have the resource, we just haven't crafted it yet.
I have a good question for you.
What's that?
What happens when you're infected and you don't have any antibiotics?